Hi there, Mary with Jet Setting Frugal, and today I'm making a video telling families out there about different products that are out there that can help their loved one that maybe might be in an assisted living or a nursing home or whatever arrangement they may have. There are some products out there that can make their loved one a little bit more comfortable. And because most of you know, I already work in the senior living industry. I look at it as my job to do exactly that, in addition to helping those communities. And I thought, what better way than to just share some of those with you today? Um, for example, say mom or dad or your loved one has a wound or a pressure ulcer or an open area on their bottom, and they are in a wheelchair. Sometimes they can ambulate around in their wheelchair. They can get around just fine. They want to be in it. They get along great, or maybe they're just sitting in it all day long. But more than likely, if they are, that's the reason why they have one of these. And so the key is getting off of it, because what it is a pressure wound. So but sometimes, they're very lively. They want to get out there. They want to be out into the world. So the best way to deal with that is to have a special cushion that would go into the wheelchair. And the cushion that I'm going to recommend is the Mosaic Rojo 1818C seating and positioning cushion. It's a cushion that has literally, it's full of air, so it helps them take the pressure off of their bottom, so that way it allows the open area to heal. um, After lunch would be a great time for them to take a little siesta, um, and get off of that, lay down in bed for a little bit. So they really shouldn't be sitting on their bottom for any more than an hour, 2 hours. And again, I need to disclose, I am not a doctor. I am not even a nurse. I just work in the industry. And like I said, it's my job to make sure that these things are done. Um, so, in addition, you've now bought your loved one this nice cushion to help in their wheelchair. Of course, I'm going to remind you that it's always a good idea to have some Lysol wipes on hand too, because if they do live in a community and there are aides that are walking around that are helping your loved one, they don't often walk around with wipes in their in on their person. So if you have wipes in their living area that can be used to clean the cushion, that would be great. So also in my link below, I put down a link to the Lysol wipes. By the way, I also have a link to the Rojo seating cushion. Excuse me. Um, Now, if they're memory care though, do not get the Lysol wipes. Memory care, if you have Lysol wipes and it is in their room, that is a hazard to that person. So get a non-toxic wipe. Often baby wipes are the best thing to have to wipe down the cushion. Not always the greatest for killing bacteria, but it's better than nothing at all. And you do not want to have something toxic that they could get their hands on that could get in their eyes or in their mouth, because again, they're memory care and they don't exactly know what that is. Things look very different to them. For example, Tide detergent can look like tomato juice. So again, don't have things that they can misinterpret and think that they are something else. So you want to make sure that the room is very, very safe. So as opposed to Lysol wipes, I would get Pampers wipes, which I included a link below. Um, the Speaking of sanitary, one of the tricks that I always share is I would get bed bug covers, not because you're trying to protect the beds from bed bugs, but people after a certain age can have accidents. And if you have bed bug covers, they're often zippered all the way around. So it covers the entire mattress. They're really nice. They're plastic. They're often waterproof, so it's great if they have an accident. But even if they sit on the edge of the bed, um, it can get not only the top mattress, but it can also get the box spring. So I would recommend getting a bed bug cover that can cover the entire thing and then zippers around, um, and getting one of those for each, the mattress top and the box spring bottom. And I would have more than one, because quite often when you take those things off and you clean them in the washing machine or whatever, they do often rip. So don't get angry if they do get destroyed. I would definitely write it into your budget that that is something that you probably want to buy at least once a quarter. Um, since we're speaking about beds, I'm going to give you a solution possibly for a loved one that maybe might be rolling out of bed. And quite often, families want to jump to, let's get side rails. And I have to let you know, I am not a big fan of side rails. I personally think it doesn't matter if they're the long ones that go from one end of the bed all the way to the bottom, or if it's the half rail. They're really not all that safe. They get stuck in them. Sometimes the mattresses can move away from them and they can fall in between, and sometimes they can even smother. They can get their arm or their legs through them, and it's just dangerous, and they can break their limbs that way. I am not a big fan of side rails. They almost do less damage if they were to just roll onto the floor. So I have a couple of other solutions for rolling out of bed, and the one would be, who says you have to have a frame? Take the frame out. Just have the box spring and the mattress. Brings it much closer lower to the floor. If they do roll out, they don't have far to go. And it's also a little bit harder for them to get up out of them, so they'll stay in the bed longer. So my recommendation is just to put the bed on the floor. There's no rules. Doesn't say you have to have a bed on a frame. But now that I've told you not to get a side rail, say your loved one uses the side rail for positioning. They like to roll over, they want something to hold on to. I recommend getting a positioning bar. It's called a halo. It looks like a circle. They don't get themselves stuck in that, and they also attach themselves right to the bed frame. So this is a much safer alternative than a half rail. I've also put a link to that down below. The link is for a single, which will go on one side, or a double, which connects underneath the mattress, and there's two of them on either side. The other thing too is I've also put a link for maybe a mat on the floor, so that if they do roll out, if you have to have the bed on a frame and it's higher up, and they do roll out, and there can be a mat on the floor that can help them. I highly recommend too making sure that a nightstand is not too close to the bed, because you don't want them to hit their head on the way down. Another alternative too, which I have found to be very useful, is a scoop mattress. So it's a mattress that's literally scooped, so they don't roll out of it quite so easily. It's much safer. It has a tendency to keep them in bed, and it's a very good alternative. And I've also attached a link to that down below as well. So with all those things, I think I've pretty much gone over everything. I'm hoping that you found this helpful. I'm hoping this helps you dealing with some of the things that maybe might be going on in your life or your loved one's life. And if you liked it, please subscribe. I often do videos like this to help people out and provide solutions. Also, please click the like button. I very much enjoy doing these videos, and I want to know that I'm reaching people out there. So if you could do that, that'd be great. And if you have any other solutions that you'd like me to share with the world, please let me know those as well. Thanks.